Tactical strategies for the battlefields of life. Powered by Task Force 1111. Conducting soul rescue operations. Tactic 2. Initial reconnaissance. Knowing the real enemy. In order to defeat the enemy, we must first be able to identify our actual opponents. Society as a whole is unaware of the darkness that lies just beneath the surface. We ignore the signs until we are dealing with the tragic results of its reality and the impact of unchecked evil. Dark matter is very real. It is an element of our existence we don't see simply because we don't want to. We shift our attention away from the signs, secretly, almost unconsciously, hoping others won't notice the darkness around us either. It's always not our problem until it becomes our problem. The world, including our local communities, harbors and even nurtures actual dark matter. It is present in the harmful actions toward others. It resides within broken or missing foundations, as the core values that once protected society from darkness have come under attack. Perversions and abuses are tolerated and even celebrated. We have given in and given out. Our schools, our companies, and our societies are filling up with this darkness on a scale never before seen in human history. Drug addiction and overdoses, teenage suicide, human trafficking, extortion, domestic violence, broken families, and the resulting mental illnesses that come with so much chaos and instability are all happening at epidemic levels. The list of such atrocities could go on and on. The statistics of these occurrences are only growing. We do nothing effective to stop it, and many of our key influencers, such as celebrities, politicians, preachers, and educators, are among the perpetrators. Even judges and lawyers, those who should be prosecuting and preventing these societal ills, are frequently caught participating in the advancement of such evils behind the scenes. Darkness becomes more hidden and protected when its leaders are growing and expanding its presence. This is the hidden darkness we refuse to acknowledge because it is almost beyond comprehension that such activities are regularly happening at the core of our society. Collectively, we do nothing. We are overwhelmed, and in this dazed state, we are unwilling to step in. We have lost the principles which made this country great. We have lost our will, and we have forgotten our way. We are blind because we choose to be. We hear, but we don't listen. We fail because we refuse to accurately identify and confront the darkness that is closing in on and consuming us all. I have been deployed to places where darkness has overtaken the whole country. A Jordanian, Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, was himself ruled by darkness, along with being a formidable commander of al-Qaeda in Iraq. His intent was to run darkness operations. He would cut people's heads off on TV and order bombings against fellow Muslims as well as Christians. Because of the strength of the dark matter that was allowed to grow unchecked, these atrocities became a common part of that society. While deployed there, I personally witnessed a truck drive through a crowd of women and children in a bazaar. When the bodies piled up under the truck so heavily that the driver could no longer get through, he detonated a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. He had a 6-year-old child in his lap, assuming U.S. forces wouldn't engage him. They both died in this suicide bombing. This kind of terror would happen every day, several times a day across Iraq for years. Now, picture this happening in your neighborhood. That is what's coming if we do not address the real darkness we are currently dismissing in our society. I have spent my life surrounded by the conflict darkness creates, within my own mind and because of the minds of others. I have faced evil on the battlefields of my military service, as well as the myriads of war zones at home. I have not only felt dark matter, but fought against it, I survived to share with you my journey through terror so that you can share yours, so that we can all admit that darkness exists and something needs to be done. It is time to step in. When will we stop tolerating and ignoring the existence of evil in our world? The upsurge in crime and violence is the end result of what we have failed to recognize or confront. When school shootings happen or a child is kidnapped and found murdered, we cry out, "I didn't see it coming!" and are constantly shocked. No matter how many news stories report another missing or exploited child, we still fail to grasp that we can do something about it and that the danger is growing. Enslavement in the form of human trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar industry, not in some third world or corrupt foreign country, but right here in the land of the free. But what can I possibly do about such a huge and dangerous problem, you may ask? Our inability to acknowledge the strength we have, both individually and collectively, when we choose to confront and dispel the darkness, is where we have completely fallen down. When we deny our power, we fail to prepare, plan, and implement the actions that can make the difference this world needs. To change the world, we must begin by fixing ourselves. Prisons are in need of reform, but the truth is that these institutions are merely extensions of the neighborhoods and communities from where we have come. The prison environment is a manifestation of our own projected madness. Therefore, we must be the change makers if there is any hope of stopping and turning away the darkness we have come to accept, tolerate, and ignore in our lives. Stop looking at these conditions as being outside the realms of your ability to change. You have the capacity within you. Start there. Start here. If you believe that fixing the broken system in which we live is in the hands of your loved ones fighting for you, and in the pen of the representatives who vote for or against reform bills, you are failing to understand. The power that exists within you and through the example you set for those around you can make the biggest and fastest changes of all. Much of what is wrong comes from all of us who are complaining and suffering. Take back your power and choose to be the difference. This video series will show you how. As soldiers, before we approach a threat, we must first recon the intended objective. We have to know what we are up against, factoring in all the possibilities that might impede mission success. Everything is considered. We look at the smallness of things, which often are the elements that cause the most extreme difficulties. The human mind is powerful and can be an agent of achievement, but be advised, there is a darker side to humanity, a side that has many faces and abilities. It seeks to derail, to deceive, and ultimately destroy. Our adversary is without mercy, without conscience, and its range is endless. I do not say this to trigger paranoia, but to inspire preparation. To look closer at darkness, we must first be prepared to contend with what lies in wait. You must be willing to face what you see. You must be strong with yourself and within your purpose, because the abode of this darkness is right there inside of us, covertly masquerading as depression, discouragement, and its most powerful persona, hopelessness. It visits your dreams knowing exactly how to stop them. We are all born into it. Darkness knows this. It's prepared for the clandestine role it will fill in our lives. It knows we will dismiss it as mythical. We question its existence and wonder, could darkness actually be occupying our minds like a shadowy body snatcher? It's time to no longer dismiss that one element of our war that we never fully address, our own personal darkness. We hold on to anger, fear, jealousy, anxiety, and the biggest perpetrator of them all, self-defeat, as normal and acceptable emotions. We chalk it up to just being human, and rarely do we challenge its presence with the ferocity it deserves. To live a successful life in the world around us, we must first recognize and conquer the demons within. The most insidious demon, self-defeat, is the absence of belief, and this lack of faith results in a void of discipline and direction. To this end, the truth is, the darkness we face is the darkness we create. The enemy we fight is the enemy we allow. The target we fail to recon is the target of self. The military mindset that is instilled into service members early on in our careers, beginning at boot camp, is made up of core values. These values are driven into us until they become steadfast, unshakable, and fixed in place with serious dedication. It is not the weapons of the world that defeat darkness. It is your resolve and dedication to transformation. We are trained to defeat darkness with light. Light that comes from the soul, committed to helping others. Brightness emanates when we become resolved to do what is essential. Darkness is defeated by those willing to stand between it and the ones who count on us to not fail. The dark matter in this world will strive to overtake you, and it is unrelenting. Life has been and always will be unfair. Get used to it. Get over it. The tactical approach to conquering darkness comes down to this. Decide whether you will or won't quit. When you make the commitment to never give up, no matter how much darkness there is around you. When you make a real, intentional, serious promise to never surrender, you have already won a battle with your inner darkness. Recognize and stand on that victory, and your impact will be much greater than you ever imagined. Now take a few minutes and examine the goals and mission you set in the previous video. Go and watch the video titled Commander's Intent, preceding this one if you haven't already. In it, you learn about setting your objectives. Do your goals address darkness in this world? What dark matter exists inside you? Are you confronting it? What darkness are you uniquely equipped to fight because of what you have faced in your life? I invite you to pick up the notebook you should keep with you throughout this series and answer these important questions. It is the first step to defeating darkness.